I made a video, a part three, one, two, and three part, a three-part video on making flatbread. But I forgot to put the ingredients on my flatbread. Anyway, before I tell you the ingredients, I want you to know that some family members uh, tasted my flatbread and they wanted more. I only made two. Um, I made two flatbreads. They ate the bread. They wanted me to make more because it tastes very good. I did a good job with my flatbread. Uh, so this is my first time making flatbread, and they liked it. They wanted more. I didn't have any more. I had to make some more maybe tomorrow. But I forgot to put the ingredients. Uh, I'm going to write down the ingredients now. And I'm not going to write it down. I'm going to tell you the ingredients. Let me just get my glasses so you can make it yourself. This is the first time I did the flatbread, but I wrote down the ingredients. So let's start with all-purpose flour. You get 150 grams of all-purpose flour. 150 grams. And then you got you got to get a bowl, get a mixing bowl. When you mix things up, the ingredients up, there's 150 grams of all-purpose flour. Then you take a half of teaspoon of salt. Okay, half a teaspoon of salt is 3 grams. Then you take sugar. You take a half of teaspoon of sugar, which is 3 grams. Okay, so you mix the flour, the salt, and the sugar together. Real good. You can whisk it, or I used a fork. I didn't have a whisk. And just mix it up. Okay? Okay? Then gradually add 240 milliliters of water. That's about, well, I think that's about a cup, right? 240 milliliters, I think it's about a cup. I'm pretty sure, but 240 milliliters. You gradually put it in the bowl and mix it with all the other ingredients that you put in the bowl. Okay? Keep doing it, okay? But mostly you can do it 2 times. You know, you put more water into it the first time, then you put the rest of the water the second time. And just keep mixing it gradually, whatever. Okay. Then you get a 1.5 teaspoons of oil, which is about 8 milliliters, 8 milliliters, and mix them in, and mix into the bowl with the water and the ingredients were mixed in. You mix in 1.5 teaspoon, or 8 milliliters, I believe, in the same bowl. Keep mixing it, okay? Then you finish. You know, you mix everything up. You finish. You finish the main thing. Now you gotta get a pan or medium and put some oil in the pan. I say about 1 teaspoon of oil, and you put the burner or the fire of the stove medium. Okay, medium level. Okay, and then you let one side. As the pan heats with the oil, you put the ingredients that you just mixed. You put some into the pan that's being heated with the oil into a little flat. It's like making pancakes. You know how you make the little flat circle, the little flat circle on the frying pan. Now, the first time I took the bowl and I poured some in the frying pan, but I didn't get the circle. It became distorted. So I threw that out. I don't like failure. So I took a measuring cup, washed it up first because it had ingredients in it. I washed the measuring cup. I put the contents of the bowl, in the mixing bowl, into my mixing into my measuring cup, and I slowly pour it onto the heated pan with the oil, and I got a perfectly round shape. Okay? And what you do now is you let one side of the flatbread heat up. As I heat up, and you're ready to turn it, you turn it over and let that side heat up. But as you do this, as you flip back and forth on medium heat, make sure you take the spatula and you press on the outer edges, the other edges of the flatbread. That way, the middle will start to rise and get higher. Mine was bubbling up, but I didn't elevate too much. I didn't like that, but I made flatbread. Keep doing that, okay? Flipping it over and flipping it back and forth until you get the right color on the bread, which is light with a little bit of dark, a little bit of brown, light to a little more darker color on the bread. Keep flipping it and keep with the spatula. Now, if you're going to turn with the spatula your flatbread, it's good to use a wider spatula. Okay, a regular size spatula, it'll work if you're good at turning things. But you may break some of the edges of the flatbread. It may start to fall apart around the edge. You better off getting a wider spatula, like a hamburger spatula, to turn a hamburger, and start flipping back and forth until it's ready on all both sides. Okay? Keep the fire medium or medium low, because okay. Now what happened is that be careful not to burn it. That's all you gotta do. Now get a plate, pick it up with the spatula, the flatbread from the pan, and put it on your plate. Okay, now whatever you want to do with the flatbread, you want to make, you want to fold it with something inside it. Whatever you want to do with it, that's up to you. But that's how you make the flatbread. So remember that, okay? So 1.5. Let me see if I can do it again, just to make sure. To reiterate, 150 grams of all-purpose flour, a half of teaspoon of salt, or 3 grams of salt. Sugar, a half a teaspoon of sugar, 3 grams of sugar. Mix all of the above in a mixing bowl with a whisk or a fork again. Now add gradually 240 milliliters of water. Okay, I think that's about 2 cups, about 1 cup, right? 1 cup, I think. I'm not sure. I think 240 milliliters of 1 cup. And slowly mix it. That the water, I should stir it into the bowl. Okay? Or you can add it twice, to make the first pouring of the water more than the second part. Okay? Keep stirring. And then add 1.5 teaspoon of oil and mix it. 1.5 teaspoon, that's about what? 8 milliliters, I believe. Okay, mix it in the same bowl. Okay, now take a pan, put about a half of 1 teaspoon. Put 1 teaspoon of oil in the pan, and spread it around. Well, with a piece of paper, or a piece of paper towel, or with a brush, a cooking brush. Just spread the oil around the pan as it heats on medium-low fire or burner. You know what I'm saying? Let it heat up with the oil. As that happens, take a measuring cup. That's what I did, or a spoon or measuring cup. You want to make a complete circle like a pancake circle in the in the skillet or frying pan, and then let it let it let it get let it well, how do you say, let it get warmed up, let it get ready little by little on one side, and then flip it over to the other side, let that get ready. Then keep flipping it once in a while until you get the right coloration of the flatbread. That's it. Okay. Now, what you should do also, I should flip from side to side the flatbread while you're warming it up. Make sure that you take the spatula once in a while, press around the edges. That way you can get some air going into the middle. You see it bubbling. Okay. What I was trying to do, but I didn't do it, is that I was trying to get like a pita effect. You know, a pita bread effect. I wanted to be able to have a center of the flatbread to inflate or expand. I was going to take some boiled eggs or maybe some hash browns, or not hash browns. No, corned beef hash. Some corned beef hash and put it inside a pocket because I wanted to expand. I wanted to expand in the middle, but it didn't do that. But you'll see bubbles trying to come up. Maybe you'll get better luck. But either way, I made the flatbread. If you go to my videos, 3-part videos, you'll see that I did make the flatbread, and you see the bubbles. That it was bubbling. It was getting ready to expand in the middle, but it didn't accomplish that effect. But I did make the bread. Now, what you can do with the flatbread, you can still put things on the bread, on the flatbread after you cook it, after you make it, and you can fold it over and eat it. Almost like a wrap. You can also make a wrap too if you make the circumference of the flatbread as you fry it a little wider. You could probably make a wrap of any kind you want. Okay. I made mine smaller, as you can see, in circumference in my videos. But I'm still gonna put things in it and fold it over and eat it. My family loved it. They loved it. They wanted me to make more. I was very successful in making my flatbread. All right, I want to let you go now. That's the ingredients. I forgot to put it with my videos. All right, have a good day. Over and out. Well, bye bye.